Hi, I'm Carl, and welcome to Adventures in Camping. Today, we're going to be working on the freestanding sawbuck. This is a movable sawbuck like the other one, but it's going to stand by itself so I can put long logs if I need to, or long poles if I need to, on the sawbuck. Also, I can move it in and cut short logs for my fire, which comes in handy. This way, I have multiple uses for the sawbuck. Stick with me, we'll get right to it. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe and hit the little bell icon so you'll be notified when I put out a new video. Since I neglected to specify what I'm using as tools, here are the tools and materials that you will need in order to do this type of lashing and to make these lap joints. You will need a full tang knife. Case in point, you will need a Baco Laplander or some other type of, this is a pruning saw. It's handy, it works well, and some number 36 bank line, my preferred choice of lashing line. If you're going to be stripping bark, you need something to strip bark with. In this case, I will be using my kukri because it does such a wonderful job. Also, I'll be using the sawbuck to hold it. I'm going to cut this off flush, straight. See how it's got an angle? It's going to stick out. We don't want that. And I'm going to use this small stick as my measuring device so I can cut it on the sawbuck. Looks pretty close. Then I'm going to take an inch or two off the end. Okay, right there. I will mark this where I want to put the cross piece, about there. Okay. Oops. There we go. Don't want to go too deep. There. Now, this will go through and this will get cut out to fit. All right, I'm gonna flip it over and take my saw and mark it. In the end of the video, I'll show you how I'm going to put all this together and use it. Stick around. Okay, well, let's see how she fits. Guess it would help if I put it in the right direction. There we go. Ah, it's beautiful. Now I'll lash that up. If you want to see how to lash it, go to my diagonal lashing video. Or you can go to video 1 of the series on making the sawbuck. I show how to lash. Okay, so there we have it, lashed. Now I need to decide where I'm going to put the diagonal piece that's going to hold this thing up. I've determined where I want to put this piece. I'm going to turn it so you can see it a little better. That's going to go right in here, and that's going to have a horizontal piece that's going to go from here over to it. So now it's time for me to cut out another notch in here. Now I have cut this to fit there. Next item on the agenda is to make a cut in this cross brace, just enough for that to sit in so it doesn't slide side to side. So now that fits together. Now I need a cross member joining this and this. So what I'm going to do is move this in this direction, and then I'm going to move this over figure out how I want it. Then I'm going to feed this in through here, and that's going to help me line it up for my cuts. I'm going to want a few cuts a little lower, but I'll get the first cuts in first on this end. I want to make sure that this bottom one is directly under this one. So I'm not going to worry about trying to line it up exactly along that one. First, I want to make sure that this is right under that. Now that I have notched that out to where I want it to be, it's time to mark this one. So now I can line this up a lot better. Okay, now that I have cut this out, so that fits there, this fits here, then I want to pull this up and decide where I want it to be. Then I need to make a mark here and here. So now I will make my marks. Whoops. Okay, so one there and one down here. We'll be right back. Okay, let's see how it fits together. Like that, and that's like that. And it's a little oversized, but that's okay, it'll work. Now, I need to lash it all together. Okay, and there we have it. That is the third piece of the sawbuck. Now I'll demonstrate why I built it this way. So if I have an excessively long pole, like a pole that I'm going to use on a shelter's roof, I may need something really long. Well, with this, I can support it as long as I need it. Or, if I want to cut something down for firewood, I can move it right up here and cut off smaller pieces where I have two of these together. Little pieces for perhaps my fire. My multi-use sawbuck. Yes, it's a lot of work, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Anything that's worth having is worth working for. This was a lot of work, but it's worth having. Come back next time, I'll have something else for you, and let's have some adventures in camping. And by the way, be ready or be a victim to circumstances. Y'all come back now, you hear?